Namaste. I am Chavi Sharma from Girls Pass, and today we are going to talk about menstruation health matters. How we can go about making menstruation health more sustainable and more eco-friendly. And for that, I'm going to connect with a brand named Femme, who is into producing cotton cloth pads, sustainable ones. So let's see whether they are here or not. Them the invitation. Let's see they join.
Hello.
Hi, Prakriti. Hi, Laure.
Hi.
So nice to see you.
So nice to see you too.
Thank you so much for joining with us on Girls Bus today.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, we are equally glad.
Great.
So let's start the session. So as I was telling our audience, EcoFem is a women-led social organization
Yeah.
which is primarily based in rural India. Please tell us more about that.
Yes, indeed. So we are EcoFam. We're a women-led social enterprise, and we're based in Tamil Nadu, in the south of India. And yes, we produce cloth pads, but also cloth nappies. And yes, these are our cloth pads. And so we have been founded by Yasemin and Kathy, which are Dutch and Australian. And so it's two foreigners based in India because we're based in Oroville, and Oroville is a township which has been created in '68, and which is very much into sustainability and also innovative enterprises. And that's where we are based there. And then we're also a mixed team with people from all over the world. So that's why I'm here. Pranathi is here, and yeah. So Pranathi is in charge of ambassadors. We have an ambassadors program, and she takes care of the whole network of 300 ambassadors that we have all over the world, right?
300.
And I'm taking care of social media and some communications.
Great. So, how did this idea of cotton sustainable pads come up to EcoFem?
So, Laure talked to you about Kathy. She's one of our co-founders. Kathy came to India almost, I think, 12 years ago. And she's been here ever since. And if you've seen Oroville, you know, it's full of forest like this. You can't even see the houses or anything. So in between forests, when you're bleeding, she found it very difficult that she had to use the plastic pads and dispose them. She didn't feel she felt like she was doing something really wrong. You know, the place is so beautiful. Like, what can I do? And slowly she started stitching something for herself to use for her periods. And she would write out, and her friends started asking, "Hey, what is this? Can you stitch some for me?" And then she started stitching more, and it became sustainable cloth pad.
Revolutionary thing. Wow.
Yes, and you know, at this point of time, we are the first ones to bring cloth pads to India. So because we've been here for 14 years, and it was just out of the love for nature that Kathy started stitching something, and it became a functional pad that any woman can use. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so this concept of cotton cloth pads is fairly new to women. So please tell us, like, how long can they be used and what fabric you're using, like everything.
Right.
Please show us the pad also,
Yeah.
Please show us the pad and tell us.
So this is a cloth pad, okay?
And we have different
This looks
sizes.
like a normal one. Yeah, wow.
And even like for people who want to see how much they bleed, what color it is, because these are all information that your body is telling you. We have the wide color range with a different design. And for people who don't prefer to see the blood, we also have these colorful range.
Yeah.
This is a completely new thing, You don't see blood. Wow.
Exactly.
Great.
And that's a mistake. We completely believe we should be seeing the blood. We understand so much about our body through blood, through bleeding.
Yeah.
And as you can see, according to your flow, you can use the different sizes because you can see the number of layers inside will increase
Okay.
if the pad shape is bigger, and if it's
Okay.
smaller, it will be less number. Do you want to talk about
Wow.
what fabric we use,
Yeah.
organic?
So our cloth pads here is an open pad pretty much. So actually it's
Mm-hmm.
made of organic certified flannel cotton.
Okay.
And because it's known for its absorbency, so there's no chemicals in
Mm-hmm.
this,
Okay.
which is not the case of single-use pads, which are made up to 90% of plastic. And
Yes.
so this is the top layer in flannel, very soft, and then we have different layers of cotton flannel again, and here we have a last layer, which you can see it's a
Mm-hmm.
little bright. No, that's because there's a PUL, polyurethylene layer, which is pretty much a very thin layer of plastic. It's actually a lamination. It's not even like
it's
from
cotton
plastic.
with polyester.
Yeah.
So even if you finish
Yes.
like on your heavy day, even if you bleed
Hmm.
through all the layers, there's no way that you can bleed out of this layer.
Yeah.
So when you
Exactly.
stitch all of them together, you're making a product that any, like even a working woman climbing, like anybody can use, you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then they can be used between 3 to 5 years, sometimes more. It depends. Depends on,
Oh, really?
yeah. It depends on
So
the
they
care you
can be
take
like
on it.
washed again and again.
Yeah, you can wash it again and again, and also it's remains stainless because I mean the most important part is when you put the cloth pad in the water and you let it soak there after use for about 20 minutes up to a few hours, and
Mm-hmm.
that takes most of the blood out, and then there's no
Okay.
stains anymore after washing. But we'll get a little bit more into detail after. Um,
Yeah.
Oh yes, maybe we should explain also how to use them.
Yeah. So my next question was this only. So let's go ahead with that.
How to use them? Do you?
Yeah, so it's just so if you can see, we have wings, but instead of plastic buttons, we have like a reusable button here.
Yeah.
So you take a
So
panty.
I have a bad version of what you have made a good version. This plastic one. See, already so much plastic is there,
Yeah.
and you have like just I will just open it for everyone, and you have like made it in such a nice way. See, so the ones which we use, they have this thing, the this again some plastic is there, and then wings are there, and then we use it like this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, even the
Yeah,
sticky
but
part of that wing actually has a lot of
yeah,
chemical, which is the reason that we
all
get
everything
rash.
is plastic. Yeah.
And the pad itself
Wow.
is made of up to 90% of plastic also, which is
Yes.
something that most people don't know because they think they can burn because it's cloth, but actually it's not cloth, it's
Mhm.
mostly plastic.
Even the ones that's
And
marketed as cotton sanitary napkins, it's really
mhm.
90% plastic.
It's plastic only, right? Right.
Right,
And we have to like use and throw it.
right.
Yeah.
And the ones which you please show yours. How is it used?
Yeah, so you basically take your underwear and pin the buttons underneath. So imagine
Okay.
you put it on your panty, it
Wow.
stays like this, and then you
It's so
bleed.
cute. It has a button.
Yes, and then you bleed
Wow.
here, and then according to your flow, maybe 4 5 hours 6 hours according to your flow, you open the button, take a mug of water, bucket, whatever you prefer, dip it face down in the water, and you can start
Hmm.
bathing, doing whatever you want. Like in 20 minutes, half of your job is done because water will take away all the blood, and now it's very easy to clean. So you, because this is organic cotton, which means we have not treated it with chemicals. So if you use harsh
Yes.
chemical soaps on top of it, it might affect the fabric because we have not already
Hmm.
treated it. So try
Okay.
to
Okay.
use mild soap. Wash it only with your hand. I know we have that taboo of like period blood is dirty, so like I'm just gonna
Yes.
scrub
Lots of
it
taboos are there.
really well.
Yeah.
Put hot water and all that, but it's total taboo. It's not. That's not the truth. So don't use
It's not
a
true.
harsh scrub and do
Hmm.
There's no
this.
need even.
There's no. It's super easy to wash.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
plus, uh,
Actually, we have a video
And
on
then I think
feed if
sun
you want
dry it
to
after
watch.
that.
Right. So when you rub the fabric against itself and kind of do the squeeze, you can see the first time the water comes, it will be tainted, reddish taint. But the second or third time you do it, the color of the like the water will be clear water, and then you know all the lies, because there's nothing else other than flannel cotton. So then
Yeah.
you'll also know that it's clean, and then you just dry
Hmm.
it under the sun, because sun is the best disinfectant. You don't need
Yes,
anything,
exactly.
and that's it. And then you reuse it. And like I wanted to say, we spoke about plastic, but I also want to say it's not just about the environment. uh, there are really harmful chemicals in this pad, even the gum of
Yes.
the wings inside the
And like, they are advertising this that fragrance should be there, like
Yeah.
there's something wrong with our period or something. So I think even that is double harmful if we use pads containing fragrance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fragrance, don't buy it. Anything fragrant,
Yes.
don't buy it. That means there's chemicals in it.
Uh,
And also, yeah, we were just talking about this research that says our vagina is 18 times more absorbent than our mouth. So if you wouldn't put like a cream that's fragrant like here, you definitely should
hmm.
not be putting it near your vagina or any product that
Exactly.
has it.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's a bit about how to use it. Yeah.
I think there's an interesting
Okay.
question that has just came up, which says, "Is stain cleared properly?" So, can we answer that question?
Or you want to do
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Which question?
Oh,
Up to you.
no, because I thought to myself, as we're on the topic, is like just as we said, like most of the blood goes away during the soaking phase.
Number one, don't use hot water,
Yes.
because hot water actually reacts with the protein in our blood and sets the
Hmm.
stain.
Yeah.
So I know,
Yeah.
especially as Indians, we have this thing like hot water mein sab kuch, like all
Yes.
germs will be removed. Like no, like use
No, no.
normal room temperature water or cold water. That is
Yeah.
like the number one tip.
Right.
Yeah.
And second is leave it for a minimum 20 minutes, and then most of the blood comes out, and after that it's super easy to wash it with soap, and then there's no
Yeah.
stains anymore. Like, we don't have a used one right now, but I personally use these this white type, and after 1.5 years it's still stainless. Actually, if you go on our
No.
feed, there's some pictures of old or used pads, and you can see that they're still
Yes.
stainless. But stains is actually not that important,
Yes.
because I mean the main thing is that
Yeah, can I give you an example? Like, let's say you're wearing your favorite t-shirt and you went to eat a nice burger. Let's say the mustard sauce falls onto your favorite t-shirt. Now you go home,
Yes.
you wash it, and you put it back. It's not like you throw it away. Why? Because you
Yeah.
know you cleaned it. You know it's clean.
Mhm.
And your blood,
Yeah.
just to address that topic, that period blood is dirty, that's been really fed into our brains, and we have internalized it because we have been hearing it. But you can Google search this if you don't trust me, but period blood is sterile. So there is nothing wrong with your period blood, and there is nothing wrong with touching your blood, cleaning it. So even if there is stain, it's like a mark your body has left, which means maybe the pH level of your blood was high because the food you ate were different in that cycle, or you were not exercising enough, or you were exercising too much. So it's all something your body is trying to tell you, and stains doesn't equal to unhygienic.
yeah.
Exactly. We on Girls Bus keep on covering, posts on this, like, periods don't make us impure and things related to period blood. And the way you said, na, we should not use hot water, cold water should be used. We keep on covering all these things because I think these are the ways by which society makes, subdue women. Like,
Mm-hmm.
period is something that period is impure. It shouldn't be like that.
Mm.
Okay, so apart from working on environmental issues, EcoFem also works on spreading social awareness relating to menstruation matters. Please tell us about that.
I'm sorry, I was actually looking at one comment. Can I quickly answer that question? Cancer
Yeah, please,
Soup
please.
has
Sure,
said,
go ahead.
how do you, what was it?
If you're at work, kind of, or if you can't wash it right away.
Right. So this is a really good question. That's why I wanted to answer
Yeah.
it. So let's say you've bled and you have the blood. You maybe had to change a pad in mid of work, mid of class. So, like, you know how the anatomy of a pad is. The leak-proof layer covers the whole side. So now what you do is you do the half and half fold, where you fold it half, and then this side is also folded, and then this button is just clicked and it becomes this cute square. And what happens is that leak proof layer actually covers all the sides, so the blood stays in and you can keep it in any pouch. We also have a pouch that is leak proof, so in case you feel the need to just be extra careful, you can.
Please show that pouch.
So the pouch is
So
really
cute.
cute. Yes, we even have some bells in the end. Yeah, so it's basically a pouch like that pad can go in. I think it can fit up to like
Amazing.
5-6 pads.
Yeah, quite a few pads can fit in it. So you can put your clean pads in it for the day, and then the soil pads, you can put them inside. And as soon as you get home, you can just soak them in water and then wash them.
Yeah, you just open it, dip it in water, and then you wash it. Also,
Yeah.
no, I went for it.
Yeah,
like
you
that.
continue.
I went for it like that lasted more than 4-5 days while I was on my period, and I could only wash it after I think a week, and I was fine. So everybody has different experiences, and we're trying to get them in blogs just so that more travelers talk about it, more working women talk about it. That it's a matter of a habit. It's not inconvenient.
Yes.
You should be inconvenient if it's about your health, no?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, this thing saves women of one more thing. Like when they're working in the offices, generally there is just single toilet, and sanitary disposal, dustbins, and everything is missing in that. So it's quite embarrassing for them. So if they are using these pads, then they don't have to worry about sanitary disposal as well.
Exactly.
It saves them of that.
Exactly, for sure. And I think this is why we are also talking to a lot of companies trying to say, can we talk to your employees? And especially when PCOS, PCOD, like fertility issues, it's on an all-time high. People trying to get pregnant in IVF. And it is proven, you can check anywhere you want. The chemicals present in disposable pads have something called endocrine disruptors. And if you remember your biology textbook, endocrine system is what takes care of your hormones. And most of these fertility, not most, all the fertility issues and PCOD, PCOS are related to dysfunctional hormones. And it is proven that these chemicals cause endocrine disruption. So it is high time we start talking about this and tell each other, hey, like you think it's a small thing, just changing your period product, but as a woman, when you consider how many times you bleed, it's actually around 8 years of your life you're bleeding, basically. Plus,
Quite long.
plus, if whatever period product you choose for that 5-6 days actually affects the rest of your life too, it's not just about just those days. I think I'm just gonna let you ask questions and I just give.
Okay. So I was just asking you this question. Like we are just not talking about, we are using something which is not harming the environment. But apart from this, EcoFem is into, talking about educating women about menstruation health matters as well. So please tell us about that. What all you are doing.
So we are a social enterprise. This business model means whatever sales we do through our online shop or our retailers around the world, we take all this revenue and put it, rechannelize into 2 programs that we have. In this program, what we do is we want to make the same pad available not just for the urban crowd but also for the rural areas. And for them, because there's not enough conversations about periods, period products, it's generally like a hush topic. You have periods, managed, don't ask too many things. So what we have done is we have a really good syllabus prepared, like so that the facilitators can go first cover 2-3 topics: basic reproductive anatomy, even period taboos, like just to create conversation, just to feel heard, create attitude shifts, So along with this education that we do, in the end, we ask them, can we also talk about some period products? So we show them all period products. We talk about advantages and disadvantages of using every product, because no product is like perfect, right? So at the end, we say, would you like to try a cloth pad? If yes, we give them a cloth pad. So it's very centered around education, choice, that it's not like you use a cloth pad. It's more like, hey, can we talk about periods, health, environment? So we have these programs. Yeah.
Right.
And when we talk about these sanitary products, they are quite expensive, according to me. They are not in everyone's reach. And when you're giving these pads to women in rural areas and they are using them for years, that's a great thing you guys are doing.
I
Hats off
really
to you.
agree. And I was also telling this to Kathy, especially when we reach places like Jammu and Kashmir, or any area northeast, like anywhere there is small like political issue and unrest happening quite frequently. This product is a lifesaver, because once you reach them with this product, they are secure for 5 years. Like, it is something that they don't have to depend on a man or some a shop to be open. In some cases, it's always a strike or something. You end up using dirty rags or something. So it's quite an empowering product, especially
It
for
is.
this
It
kind of
is,
thing.
to be precise. Yes.
Actually, we
This
can show
happened
you.
during lockdown,
Mm-hmm.
women didn't have access to sanitary products, and like it was a very, very bad situation for them. So had they
Right.
been using these products, then it would have been a lifesaver for them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Actually, we've developed this foldable pad, which we've developed particularly for rural women. And so the idea is that it's not noticeable that this is a menstrual cloth pad. And so the way you use it is that you fold it as such, like that. And then you still have the leak-proof layer, which we've shown you before, and the wings and the press button to close the pad and put it around your nappy. Sorry, nappy. Oh my god.
We sell nappies too.
Yes.
Because you do that baby diapers also.
Yes. Baby diapers.
So it's not your nappy, it's your panty, like that. And then it's used just like a regular pad like this. So this is super
This is like a
convenient.
great,
Sorry?
yeah, this is a great idea,
Yeah.
women won't be hesitant in using sunlight for this.
Yes, because when it's drying, it looks just like this.
Just like a handkerchief or something.
And
Yeah.
this model was made because when we do our feedback session, where we go back and collect like, how was your experience, do you have any questions, they were saying that their husbands or the kids might ask what this is, and they're not ready to talk about it. And we completely understand, it takes time, and that's how we made this product.
And
That's
also it dries
how our
super fast.
upbringing is.
Yeah, even in colder
So,
areas, actually, it doesn't necessarily have to be a woman who's not comfortable with showing pads. Even in colder climate, this pad is the best because it quickly dries. So, yeah, any of you from colder regions?
maybe when
Someone's
we post
asked.
this video.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Someone's
Yeah,
asking
continue.
how we can use one cloth pad for how many years. So as we said, like it's 3 to 5 years. And yeah, so it's safe to use for that long.
Yes, because we've been here for 14 years and we have sold 1 million, no, now close to 2 million cloth pads. So it is completely safe. And even me, I joined EcoFem because I had recurring UTIs and I use cloth pads to stop me from getting unhealthy. So it's completely safe. It's a tested
So,
product.
so UTI stopped occurring because of this.
Yes. So one of the first things my doctor asked me to do is stop using sanitary napkins. And I was like, but why? I mean, everybody's using it. Why should I stop? And then she explained to me that there are these chemicals and also another gynecologist that I interviewed was telling me, imagine, so one plastic pad is equal to 4 plastic bags. So imagine folding 4 plastic bags and keeping it in your underwear, and continuously you only take it off when you take a shower, then you again keeping 4 plastic bags. Now this continues for 5-6 days. Imagine that you're creating such a nice, hot, humid environment for bacteria
Bacterial
and
growth area.
germs to breed. But when you use something like a cloth pad, it's cotton and your vagina and vulva is breathing, just like it should. It's just like our skin, our face, it needs to breathe. So number one is there's no chemicals. Number two is it's also very airy and comfortable.
Cloth, cotton breathes by default much better. I mean, the best, no? Plastic doesn't breathe at all.
I think I'll go in for these two. So this is a question from my side. Where exactly can we buy these from?
Online shop. So if you just type ecofem.org, you will see our website. You can see about all the other work that we do. If you want to join us as a partner and or an ambassador, volunteer with us. But if you just want to see the product, just type shop.ecofem.org basically. Just come and follow us on Instagram if you're thinking about it. No pressure. Keep watching our content, and one day you will feel.
Yeah, we have followed you.
Yes.
And we
We have
also have
followed you.
retailers all over India and all over the world. So you can also check on our website. There's a list of retailers: Chennai, Delhi, Mumbai, so many places.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Almost, I think,
So
26 countries, I think we have.
Yeah, something like that, about 20 countries.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So in the list, it will be written.
So it's not limited to India.
No. Because that's the thing, actually. So our social model, social work that we do, that's mainly financed by our international sales, because there's a donation included in the international purchases, and that allows us to finance the free menstrual education that we give to girls from low-income backgrounds in India. And it allows us to give them also free pads, or to propose them free pads at the end of the session.
Yeah, so it looks like something, if you buy a pad, you're somebody in rural India. Can you hear me?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, now I can hear you.
And another thing about selling internationally is everybody knows it's not easy. And the reason why we're able to sell internationally is because of our organic certification. It's quite a big deal. It's from an organization called GOTS, Global Organic Trade Standard. And it's because we have this certification that our products are really highly valued internationally as well. And somebody's asking me in your offline stores. Like I said, go to ecofem.org. There's a retailers list, and in that, wherever you are from, you will find a few stores and their addresses.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Great. Okay, so you work on so many, two main non-profit campaigns also, known as Pad for Pads and Pads for Sisters. Please tell us about that.
So Pad is for under 18 girls. This is where the education will be more based on reproductive anatomy, reading your body, what is period taboos and all that. And these pads will be gifted to girls free of cost, because these are students and they do not have any cash on them. And these are mainly funded by, like I said, either international sales, where anytime anybody internationally buys a pad, automatically they get to gift a girl in rural India. It's through that program that we keep funding this program. So we have 80 grassroots partners in India. So we train them to talk about periods, what topics to cover, and they go into the grassroots level talk. Now, Pad for Sisters is for above 18. Now, these are working women who have some amount of savings or income. What we usually do is we go into these places, talk to them, do a survey to understand what are they able to pay. What is the willingness to pay, and accordingly we partner with organization to give them the pads very like subsidized rate, along with educational sessions about to change, shift attitudes. And so these are our two programs.
total different thing which you're doing, because if you go in the market and the products are so highly priced and everything, you are doing the other way around. You are just checking whether they can buy it or not. That's truly amazing.
I know, like even
Okay,
when
so
I got a Femme, I was talking to the
mhm,
co-founder, and it was so hard for me to understand how deep their core values were so strong. This is not about making money, and we have to be always empathetic, understand. Yet, even for me, it was like, wow, like I need to really internalize this new.
even I can feel that just now.
That's it.
Okay, so still so many women are not aware about menstrual hygiene. They simply ignore that. So, what exactly can be done about that? You're already, I think, spreading awareness and education regarding that.
Mm,
And I guess we'll together do reels on that too after
yeah,
this session.
that's amazing. We'd like that. So,
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
in terms of general hygiene, or do you want me to talk about hygiene using cloth pads?
Anyways, you like, women in general, they just ignore themselves, and menstrual health includes that.
Right. That's actually this reminds me. I saw a comment, when you're on your periods, it's difficult to wash. How do you tackle that? This is a very true question. A lot of us kind of lose ourselves during this time. I still have my co-worker who takes leave every time she has periods. She's really
Oh.
dysfunctional. She cannot work. Now,
Mm-hmm.
this is your body trying to tell you something. So if you are popping pills, just try to go for some other kind of remedies. And you have to understand, in this world, especially right now, we're just running. We are just trying to forget that we have periods, that we have a family, we have, like, it's like just work, eat, sleep. There is no connection to our own body. And one of the things
Yes.
that cloth pads gives you is the time to
Mm-hmm.
connect back with yourself. When you wash your pad,
Yes.
you look at your pad, it's a time to think, oh, I'm on my
Mm.
periods, I'm bleeding this
Yes.
much, how do I feel today, how do I feel differently
Mm-hmm.
from the last time I bled? Now, these are all
Yes.
questions nobody thinks. Why? Because the product is in such a way that you don't want to look at it. You're just going to put it in newspaper and throw it away. And even,
Yeah.
okay, it smells bad or all of this, it's actually the blood reacting with plastic pads, by the way. Our blood
Okay.
doesn't actually smell bad. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, so coming back to hygiene, like you said, people are really trying to forget that they have a body, they have a
Yes.
reproductive system, they have around periods. It's like, I want to forget
Yeah.
about periods. So now, to change this
Mm-hmm.
attitude, what we have to do is talk about periods more kindly. Change your period product. This will change the way you look at periods. So generally,
Yes.
like, changing the what you eat, exercising properly, reading more about it will really change the way you think about periods. Because periods is not just 3-4 days in a month. Every day your
Mm-hmm.
uterus is working so that you bleed regularly. And if you have a regular
Yes.
cycle, thank your uterus, because every day it's
Yes.
sending hormones, making sure the egg reach uterus to cervix. It's happening. So that's
Hmm.
number one. Number two, general hygiene, I would say, tips like, in case you go to the loo, make sure that your area is dry before, um,
Yes.
pulling up your panties. Or, yeah, so basically not to keep anything wet, because that's again,
Hmm.
so if you use a plastic pad, it's too hot, right? That's not good. Now, if
Yeah.
you don't keep your area dry, it's wet. That's not good. So just keep a balance. And even one of the things that I really like mentioning is how you wash yourself after going to loo. Some people wash from
Hmm.
the anus to the clitoris. Always make sure
No,
to
that.
wash from the clitoris back to the anus, because there are some
Hmm.
bacteria that could travel from the anus. And like I said, our vagina is really, really sensitive. And these bacteria might not be very handleable by
Hmm.
this area. Um,
Yeah.
I remember this research that said Ayurvedic doctors used to keep medicines close to the vagina because it is the quickest way to get the blood flowing everywhere.
Okay.
Before, like,
Before, yeah, that sounds
Western
so
medicine.
strange.
So this again
Okay.
comes back to the, like, your vagina is 18 times more absorbent. So to be
Hmm.
careful what you keep, what products you use,
Yes.
don't use fragrant products, all that.
Yes.
Now, yeah, I think that's general hygiene. But cloth pad hygiene, I think all you have to do is make sure that it's dry before you use it again, and if possible, dry it under sunlight.
Yes, that's quite important.
And keep it also in a dry and clean place. That's also very important.
Yeah, so even when you store it, instead of storing it like this, you can just do the half and half fold method and then keep it neatly. So then the area that goes close to your skin is also kind of, inside
sealed,
and sealed. Yeah.
Okay. So, women are in general shamed during their period cycle. Like they are treated as untouchables, as impure. So, what are your views on that? What can be done about that?
You said that it's definitely not true.
Yeah, exactly.
Now to change it, I think number one, like one thing I've learned from taking sessions both in urban and rural crowd is nobody's bad, right? I don't think anybody like wants to hurt, or it's, I mean, there are some people like that, I guess, but mostly it's due to our own internalized taboo. So if somebody is getting angry at
Yes.
you for something, like, oh, your blood is being seen, or don't touch me and all that, it's probably something that they have seen their parents do or their uncles say, or their
Yes.
religious statements.
So basically, we teach our daughters the correct way out. I think that's the exact way it should go. Like we
Right.
should not continue the same pattern.
Right. So yeah, one of the things that you could do, like you said, is if you have a daughter or a son, when they come to the right age, like you can maybe like 9 years, 10 years, start the conversation. When
Yes.
when they ask what is this thing in your hand, don't say shh, like keep quiet, like don't ask, oh, there's something called periods, but maybe we can talk about it later, but it's something that happens, don't make it like such a disgusting thing.
Ugly, ugly, bad thing.
Yeah, it's
Right.
so normal, like, so this is also one of the thing, like you get pregnant and people treat you like a goddess, like people get up from birth,
Yes.
let you sit down and all that, but the periods is the same thing that allows you to get pregnant. So somehow, like,
Yeah.
pregnancy is great, periods is not.
That's
That's what
strange.
we also say on our website. We say that we want to revalue periods because life depends on it. And that's something we try to get people to understand, is that without periods, nobody would be on earth pretty much. So without a cycle, like nobody would be.
That's quite normal.
Yeah.
And I think, like,
Okay, so
it would be nice if people start talking about it. So if you see something that you don't like, instead of like getting angry something, just to ask, hey, like, why do you feel this way? Why do you think I cannot talk about it? Or just to understand, like, what's happening, and maybe this is the area that this person also thinks, yeah, why did I just say that? I don't know. Like, so yeah, I think just to talk more and
so
discuss.
So, like, this marks the end of the question which I had for you. So, this is for the audience. Both of us will be saving this video on our feed. So, what you can do is there is a comment section below. So, you can put down the questions there and we will try our best to answer those questions for you.
Yeah.
Right. So, we both will be posting this video after this live session.
Right.
Anything else you want to share with the audience apart from this?
Oh, I just thought about one point, that another thing you can do is you can say real names instead of saying it's
Right.
it's that, like say I have periods, I have menstruation, or
Yes.
instead of saying it's down there, saying vulva, or if it's clitoris or vagina, like naming your
Yes.
parts, naming your body.
You
I
shouldn't
think
be ashamed of that.
I think that's like a really powerful thing.
And that would
Yeah.
kill taboos, and stigma and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Mm.
And from like a young age, you can start. Not only for adults or teenagers, like even to small kids, you can teach. Yes, this is the vulva, and blood comes through the vulva, and periods happen. And I mean, it starts in the uterus and so on. So,
Yeah.
and that's what we also teach to the kids, you know, I mean, the girls mainly that we give sessions to, is that we teach them to say the name of the body parts, I mean,
Wow.
particularly in the reproductive
Uh-huh.
system. And
That's a way of empowering women.
yeah, and the thing is, we don't only
Yes.
ask them to repeat, we also tell them to say it loud, you know, so that we create more confidence and that they confidently talk about their uterus, their vagina, and so on.
I still
Wow.
remember I was
That's good.
for that. Both of us did were there, and you could hear in the whole school these government school kids. We had all of them in a class, and they were shouting "Yoni, Yoni!" Like it was just, it was amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I don't have anything else to add.
So I think we'll end the session for today, and it was really nice. Both of you joined Girls First for this amazing session, and we will be posting this on our feed so everyone can put down the questions over there. So
Right.
thank you, Laure. Thank you, Prakriti. Have a nice day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.